What is up everybody? Welcome back to the crew 2, and in this video I'm going to take a look at the Jammin with Jim American Legends story. This one is going to be part of the recent Season 9 update, and my goodness guys, these stories are so much fun. Do keep in mind this one and the Toji's team are going to be 8 steps, compared to the other two that are indeed going to be 12, but nonetheless though guys, jumping right into Jamming with Jim, step number 1 is Wheels and Tunes. Find the Reunion Tower in Government District, Dallas. So for step number 1, you will have to head over to Dallas, which if you guys were wondering is going to be on like the middle part of the map here, kind of close by to where New Orleans is, and or New Orleans. I guess either way kind of works there. It's going to be under Amarillo though here on the bottom of the map. I will zoom out a bit more so that way you guys can't see exactly where I am located right over here. This is going to be Dallas down over here on the bottom of this area of the map though. And one thing I did notice is the government district part of Dallas is not going to have an insanely close spawn point to where this reunion tower thingy is. So I would recommend spawning over to this touring car event, which is basically going to put you a few miles away to complete this first step. And then moving over to step number 2 in Opportunity, travel from Dallas to Bill's house in Amarillo with any ground vehicle. So for step number 2, you will have to leave from the Dallas area. So for this one, guys, I would recommend leaving from the Reunion Tower that wasn't step number 1. I honestly do not see a point of like spawning into other places in Dallas. And luckily from this location, Amarillo is not going to be too insanely far away. It's actually going to be around 8 miles from this location. And it's going to basically be directly above Dallas, right above the Great Plains. And then moving over to step number 3, a clue from a saxophonist. Travel from Texas Panhandle east of Amarillo to the pit lane of the Monuments Motorsports Park, southwest of Santa Fe, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 3, you will have to leave from the Texas Panhandle area. So luckily guys, at the house that wasn't step number 2 is actually going to be in the right place here. So you can go to the Motorsports Park right from here. Do keep in mind though, this is actually going to be a bit of a drive. I did notice from Amarillo all the way to this Motorsports Park is going to be around 14 miles from this location. So from here guys, zooming out, it's basically going to be all the way to the left over here. Basically right next to the New Mexico area here is the Monuments Motorsports Park, which actually is going to be like the new Dominion Forsberg track, but it's going to be located basically in between both of these events right over here, and you guys will find this location decently far away. And then moving over to step number 4, a rare Mustang. Travel from New Mexico southwest of Santa Fe to the motel in Hallbrook far southwest of Santa Fe with any ground vehicle. So for step number 4, it is requiring you to leave from the New Mexico area. So for this, guys, I would recommend leaving from the motorsports park that was in step number 3. And around this location, you're going to be around 7.5 miles away. And luckily, Hallbrook isn't going to be too far away. But the one thing, though, it is going to be slightly hidden. So zooming out of the map right here, you guys will notice the hypercar event that I am close by to. So this is basically like the actual view of the map. So you're going to notice the off-road HQ here, so keep going down the map over here. You guys are then going to notice the rally raid event called Spike Run, and then if you move down just a bit more, you guys will then notice the Meteor Crater. I would probably say that's going to be the easiest way to find Hallbrook is probably going to be the Meteor Crater here. It is going to be a pretty small town, but luckily the motel's right in the middle, and it's not insanely far away at around 7.5 miles. And then moving over to step number 5, a remote airstrip. Travel from Big Land far southwest of Santa Fe to the visitor center in the aircraft cemetery, far southeast of Los Angeles, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 5, you will have to leave from the Big Land area, so I'm sure when you guys did spawn in after step number 4 at this hotel, it was most likely grayed out, but once you guys actually start driving forward just a bit, I did notice right in this area it actually went green, so you can actually leave right from the hotel that was in step number 4, and luckily the aircraft cemetery is around 5 miles from this location. And then moving over to step number 6, a surprise phone call. Travel from Black Mount far southeast of Los Angeles to the Desert Hotel in Palm Springs, east of Los Angeles, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 6, it is requiring you to leave from the Black Mount area. So for this, guys, you don't actually have to leave from the aircraft cemetery. That is going to be insanely far out of the way, and plus it's also not in the right location. So for this, I would actually recommend spawning over to this touring car event. It's going to be at the Black Rift Motorsports Park. Now, one thing I did notice about this is unfortunately if you do put the waypoint on the Palm Springs area, unfortunately, it's not going to work correctly, so I basically drove to the main road to show you guys exactly where the Palm Springs place is, but this is by far going to be much closer at under 6 miles instead of leaving all the way from the aircraft cemetery, which would be insane. And then moving over to step number 7, 2 jewels at an auction. Travel from South Coast southeast of Los Angeles to the M Hotel in Hollywood, Los Angeles with any ground vehicle. So for step number 7, you will have to leave from the South Coast area. So for this, guys, being at the hotel that was in step number 6 is unfortunately not going to count. So for this, I would recommend spawning over to this Rallycross event, which by the way, from this location, Hollywood's not insanely far away, being at around 10 miles from this location. And then moving over to the final step, heading to Motorfest. Travel from Los Angeles to Jim's house in Mulholland Drive, Los Angeles. So for the final step, you will have to leave from the Los Angeles area, then head over to Mulholland Drive, which luckily, guys, you can leave from the hotel that was in step number 7. And I did notice Mulholland Drive is around 2 miles from this location.